It's that time of year. We've been spared some of the pain and suffering already because of the beautiful fall that we've had. But it's October. October, I notice that people start shifting. And I never noticed it with myself until probably 10, 15 years ago. And then I realized that that's when SAD begins. That's when seasonal depression. And most people have some portion of SAD. They may not recognize it. They may not even understand that that's what it is. But usually in the winter months, when it starts getting darker, it gets a little bit more depressing. So I've had people come and talk to me, and I say, and I know that they suffer from SAD, and I say, have you turned on your blue light yet? No, I don't need it yet. And I said, I put it on in September. The blue light is a happy light or a go light. It's a depression light. It doesn't make you depressed. It does the opposite. But I sit with it every morning for almost an hour, and it really does help to shift what's going on inside. Being depressed is not some kind of fault or some kind of defective gene that you have. It's just part of life. And in winter months, nobody comes to see me in the summer months because they're depressed. Why do you think that is? Because we're seasonal people. So if you know you have some seasonal depression, try the blue light. You can order them on Amazon, have your grandchildren order them for you. They're not that expensive, and they're very powerful. But there's other things that you can do too. Depression usually isn't just one thing. It's many things. Some bad habits that we have brought into our lives. Poor sleeping can lead to depression. Staying indoors too much. We've been lucky. It's been so nice being outdoors, but even when it's winter time, try to get outside, even if you just sit in your car in the outside or take a drive in the country. It's something very powerful. If you or anybody you know suffers from depression, come and see me. Okay? We won't talk about all the things you're depressed about, because then I will be depressed. Okay? But we'll find and discover ways to move forward. This last week, a little bit up and down for me, even though I sit with my blue light and I know what it is. There's another thing that makes us depressed. Okay? It's the news. Okay? And we seem to be addicted to the news, don't we? And I know some people that 8, 10, 12 hours a day, they sit and watch CNN or CBC or something. We seem to be drawn to it, right? You're drawn to a train wreck. You're drawn to an automobile crash. I don't know what happened this morning, but I was on my way to the gym just over here, and 8 squad cars passed me with their lights on going to Harbor Landing. Something's going on there. I don't. But some things, the news is filled with negative messages. Okay, that's just the way it is. People are drawn to that. People don't buy newspapers to hear about all the good things that are happening in our world. And we're drawn to it. And what do we hear? Everything leads about the COVID numbers and the masking and the anti-maskers and the anti-vaxxers and wave 3, 4, and a potential wave 5. And you can't help but conclude that the world is not as safe a place as it was a couple of years ago. This is a depressing thought. This is depression, okay? When we think that we are not living in a safe place. And I think if there's any advice that I would give to you, if you're watching 4 to 6 hours of TV and the news, cut it back to a couple. Or watch some Seinfeld episodes or some sitcoms of some sort to help shift us out of that. That's what happens. We watch and listen and hear enough of negative messages, it cannot help but have a negative influence on your psyche and on your health and your mental health. Thanksgiving was last week. I wasn't able to be with you. We were in Canmore. I was doing a wedding out there. And this gratitude, Thanksgiving, has a lot to do with how we get out of what we're in. Okay? The truth is is that if you grumble and complain and you are around people who grumble and complain, if you hear enough negative messages, okay, I can make anybody depressed, okay? I can prove it to you. Come in and see me, and after an hour, I will make you depressed. But we need to shift out of this, okay? We need to shift out of the negative messages that we are talking, that we share and talk about ourselves. We are probably the number one culprits in the negative messaging. We give negative, critical messages to ourselves, and then your brain starts to believe that, and you spiral down into negativity. Thanksgiving is about being grateful for what we have. And it would be easy to conclude through the news or through the media that you don't have much to be thankful for. You have a lot to be fearful of. You have a lot that is negative and a lot that is threatening, but there isn't much to be grateful for. We have to push against this. Gratitude has to be a part of our daily life. Okay? And if there's nothing that you can see that you are grateful for, you have to change the way your brain is working, change the way your eyes are seeing, change the way your ears are hearing, because you're missing the message. Okay? And that's what I believe is happening in our society as a whole throughout the world. Too much negativity, too much fearfulness. We have to look for what we are grateful for. We have to look a little bit more closely. Tune out the negative messages and lift up the positive things that are happening in your life. It's time for us to share with the people that we are grateful for, and I am grateful for every one of you. I'm grateful that you have come, even though it's not perfectly safe for us to be in public. I'm grateful that you have come to worship. I'm grateful for all of the people who are listening to this message. Why is that so hard for us to do? Why is it so hard for us to share the gratitude with one? I'm grateful. At the wedding last week, I talked about that. I said, if you wake up every day and say, I am grateful for you, 50 years from now, you will be celebrating your 50th anniversary. Gratitude is huge. It's something that we're missing in our lives. It's something for us to lift up today, every day of our lives.